Hello and welcome everyone. It is Monday night. It is Race on Oz. It's the PC League and we're back. Just like that, we are back for a new season. Season number 3 for the year so far. Already halfway through June. So yeah, good to have the third season back. Hope you've all been well. We've been away for not that long. Like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks maybe. Anyway, we're back, so which is great, and ready to bring you some more action for this season, kicking off another 9-round season, which is very exciting. As you can see on the screen there, we will be starting the season at Cota, Circuit of the Americas, for those who don't understand the abbreviation, in Texas, United States of America. So before we do that, though, I thought let's backtrack a little bit and talk about our previous winners, because it was we've just finished and don't really sort of get the opportunity to celebrate our champions. So I thought I'd put something together, just with my very, very amateur hour video editing skills, and I thought let's have a look at last season's champions, shall we? So let's kick it off. The first one is the overall, the pro class champion, Max Ricker. So he had a cracking season last season. He took out 1 victory overall. He had a slew of 4th places. He did have a bunch of seconds though. So he had in total 4 times he came second. And he also came 4th 3 times as well. So 641 points. He just managed to edge out Andrew Lawrenson, who was charging quite hard at the end of the season with him. So, and I think him throwing his car there through the Ascara chicane sort of epitomised his season last season, Max Ricker. So a big congratulations to the number 27 McLaren. He's back to defend his championship. He's got the number 1 on the side of the car, and I love that as well. So that's awesome. I'm positive that I had another one. I thought I had other cars on there. Just give me 2 seconds here. No. I had all of them. Hang on a second. That's going to suck. Alright, I'll see if I can get it later. I thought I had all of it. I must not have downloaded. I did it for Thingo, for the silver class and the AM as well. Let me see if I can quickly find it. Oh, that sucks. Hang on a second. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let me quickly see if I can download this sucker. Don't know if my computer like having to do this. In the meantime, though, what we can do is have a look at the standings for the end of the season. So it's Max Ricker. You can see there 3/4 to start the season. 3 seconds of first, a second, and 7th in the final round. So 641 points as mentioned, he edged out Andrew Lawrenson on 589 points, who finished just 4 points ahead of Terry Rayton, who finished second in the race, the last race of the season, but wasn't quite enough to solidify as Andrew Lawrenson took out victory in the final round of the season there. Paul Russell had another good season, finished every race bar one in the top 10. He had a couple of podiums in there as well, so phenomenal season from him. Nando Latenzio, he finished in P5, another solid season there from Nando. He had a couple of fourths there as well, almost cracked the podium. Vinny Canero, a relative newcomer to the league, finishing there in 6th. We've got Matt Frost in 7th, James Mack in 8th, and then Mitch Hayes 2 points behind him in 9th, and then in 10th it was Chris Hildebrandt. Now, just give me a second here. Let's see if this one works. Let's see. There we go. So, the AM class champion was Mark Stevens, car number 169, the team line tamer. He had a fantastic season last go around. He fought with Lee Perkins and James Bridgens to the bitter end there, so it was a great result for Mark Stevens. We couldn't get him in the chat for the post race at the last round there, so we'll see if we can get him on tonight. If he wins his class, that'd be good to hear from him. So congratulations to the AM champion of last season was Mark Stevens. And then it is going to show us our silver class champion any second. This goes for like a minute, and then the other one will go for a minute. Come on. There we go. Silver class champion is Chris Hildebrandt. So in the Lexus, you can't miss that Lexus. He is in the room tonight. He's changed over to a Lamborghini. So he battled it out with Mark Hurley, Neil Fakeney last season as well. Chris Taylor, Adrian Rice was in silver, Peter Wall, Mitch Marsh, and then Brian Kong. I think Brian Kong only raced one race. I'm not too sure, even if he got to that. So, yeah, a big congratulations to Chris Hildebrandt. It's definitely a can't miss livery. And, yeah, a big congrats to him. The 111 taking out the silver class championship as well. So big congrats to all our previous season's champions. Max Ricker, Mark Stevens, and Chris Hildebrandt. You can, yeah, then we've already seen that. And then you can see it there. So it was very, very tight in both the silver and the AM champions. Only 12 points the difference between Hildebrandt and Mark Hurley. Neil Fakeney was up there as well. And then only 3 points separating Mark Stevens and Lee Perkins with Herbertron. Having a good season, Herbertron. I like it. Let's see if he can capitalise on that momentum and bring it into the new season, which is about to start in a minute 38. So let's have a look at the track, shall we? That's standings. Sorry, get rid of that. And there we go. Cota. It's a big track, 20 turns. It is 5.53 kilometres in length. Turn 1, it's an elevation of 37.18 metres. The first section there, it was designed to sort of have a bit of a similar feel to the Maggots-Beckett's complex at Silverstone and sort of the Suzuka, Michael Schumacher S's at Suzuka. That back straight is 1.2 kilometres in length, so expect to see a lot of overtaking through there. And then a very tight and twisty last part of the track from turns 12 to turn 19. Turn 19, very deceiving corner. Looks a lot easier than what it actually is. It's a lot harder than it looks. So we are getting all set for that this evening. And let's go to... Boom, we got it. 21 in the room. Lovely. So everyone's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and has visions of grandeur, what a new season brings. And we've got a couple of drivers in the Fords, but we've got someone familiar up the front. It's this man here, Andrew Lawrenson. So in P1, so a time of 2 minutes, 6 seconds, .180. So A. Lawrenson on the board. I'm going to try and pull my socks up a little bit this season. I've decided I'm going to try and just keep a track of pole positions and silver class and AM class and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, feeling a little bit rejuvenated for sim racing actually at the moment. So anyway, so Andrew Lawrenson, highest of the silver runners. It's Adrian Rice in the Ford. Exciting. Hello to everyone in the chat as well. So Heather Russell's in there. Got to get that situation sorted. And this man here, Mark Stevens, he's got it going with a different colour for this season. Last season was green and silver. We've got a few drivers still out there right now. Neil Fakeney is one of those. Just got to wait. He's in the BMW this season. Was he in the Lamborghini last time out? I'm not too sure. Seems familiar. Looks nice though, the number 9 BMW. We've got a lot of Ferraris in this field.
Green light, go, go, go.
Here we go. Yep. Boom. Alright. Cool. Let's get into it, eh? Car's heading out on track. I think Peter Wall. Check this livery out. This is a cracker. We've got some old school tobacco advertising. Rothmans. Check it out. Have a look at that. Lovely. Digging it. So cool. I don't endorse smoking cigarettes. It's not good for your health. But man, do they have some great liveries on a lot of different motor cars. So yeah, good to see that. We'll cycle through all the different liveries. This evening is Andrew Lawrenson in the 444. He's made his way out on track. Chris Hildebrandt, as mentioned, a reigning silver class champion in the Lamborghini this season from the Lexus. Not too sure if you were watching the Le Mans 24-hour on the weekend. They had a couple of Lexuses in there. I'd never seen them racing before, so that was a cool little sort of Easter egg, I guess, if you like, in the Le Mans 24-hour. Good to see that they got more than 6.5 hours of racing, unlike the Nordschleife for 24 hours a couple of weeks before it. Ended up getting abandoned due to fog, as does happen in that part of the world. So it was a little bit disappointing, but you can understand from a safety perspective that safety should always be the number one priority. You even saw it in the long 24-hour on the weekend with the heavy rain. Came there, spent some time behind the safety car. There's James Pierre Reid just chilling in the pits by himself. Terry Rayton, he's also in the Ford this season as well, so looking forward to seeing how he and Adrian Rice progress with the newest car to the Assetto Corsa Competizione stable. We're going to watch Peter Wall because he's going to be the first driver of the season. Depending on if he can make it through this first section without getting his time deleted, because that is a very, very common scenario around Cota. It's one of its sort of signature parts of the track, and corner cutting can bring you undone around here as well. I can't remember what the tide deck is around here. I don't think it's too bad. Haven't driven this circuit for a little while. Once you get into the rhythm of it though, it's quite fun. You've got to sort of just hold on through the first sector, and then once you get to about this point here, you can breathe a little bit. It's hard on the brakes. It's a kind of a strange corner, that one, and then you're flat out, so you get a little bit of a break on this track. As I mentioned, 1.2 kilometer back straight. So I would expect to see a lot of overtaking down in this section of the track. Down hard on the brakes into turn 12. We go back on board. So you've got to be really patient through here. This part here reminds me, I think it's turn 11 at Bahrain. And then can, I think, normally take it flat through there. And there's this corner here. Look at this. This is, oh, you hit that little sausage curve and can bring you unstuck. So it's going to be the first lap. So 2 minutes 6.180. So it is a relatively long lap at 5.5 kilometers. Peter Wall is going to be setting the pace of the season so far. Andrew Lawrenson goes straight to the top of the times. Not unfamiliar to see him there. Who else do we have here? 936. I've got to get my timing screen all sorted out. Mike Lewin. Oi, that is yeah, that's not the fastest way around. Maybe we have a quick look at the replay on that one. Here we go. So, where's it going? Yeah, let's see what happens here. Oh, I forgot to do the replay. Oi! Bang! Into the wall. Alright. And we're back. Alright. Who else is around? Chris Hildebrand is coming through. Oh, Mitch Hayes might be making his way. Let's stick with Mitch for now. In the Ferrari. Yeah, as mentioned, there is a lot of Ferraris. It's got a Shell logo on the top and on the side. We've got some Red Bull on there as well. Got it all going on in the Ferrari. He comes in P10 so far. Top of the times though, Andrew Lawrenson, a 2 minutes 6.432. So not as quick as his practice time, but certainly edging closer to it. Who else is out there? Peter Wall is just a little bit ahead of him. He was the first car out on the circuit, not too far away from the halfway mark of this qualifying session, the opening qualifying session of the season 3, 2024. And yeah, it's going to be 9 rounds. We've got the brakes back, which is good. And we're going to stick in North America for the first couple of races. Here's Hildebrand. Next week's going to be Laguna Seca, which will be fun. We've got Cota to get through first. I was going to create like a little schedule thing, but I'm not going to lie, I just was quite lazy this weekend. I made that video though. That was alright, wasn't it? Stitched all that together. That wasn't too bad. Here's James Mack, Red Rebel Racing livery. I'm not too sure if it's an in-game one or not. Looks good though. I think, no, it's not an in-game one. It's definitely a custom livery. And, man, look good, feel good, drive good. P9 for James Mack. Had a good season last season. Did Mr. Mack. So he'll be looking to continue that on. Speaking of people who had good seasons, this man had an excellent season. Top 3 in the AM Championship. Herbertron, another Red Rebel Racing entry. And I think he's the man that does the liveries. So, big shout out. I know Nando Latenzio does his liveries, his own liveries as well. But, yeah, Herbertron as well, having a crack at it and doing quite a good job servicing a few people in the field. Here's Neil Fakeney. He's P12 right now. 207.930. The Crunch Time Racing BMW, the number 9, one of our silver class runners. Just over the halfway mark. It's Max Ricker. We haven't even seen him on the screen yet, have we? It's been a bit poor by me. He's got and we'll check out that number 1 on the side of his car as well. As Neil Fakeney, he does improve his time, but not his grid position. Peter Wall is down on his best time in that Rothmans Ferrari. Very nostalgic. Nostalgic for me anyway. It was in my sort of core memory forming days of watching motorsport, in particular Williams Formula 1 team, Damon Hill. Have a look at this one. Paul Russell. But the Valvoline livery goes up into P4. Looking very nice indeed. So, back in the Porsche, remember when he had the Monster? Did he have like the Monster livery Porsche? I can't remember. Here's Wally Masterson, one of the AM drivers. We've got 5 AM drivers in the field tonight. We've got 5 silver drivers. The rest of the field is the pro driver category. Just under 5.5 minutes left in this one. Ooh, who was that having a little moment there? Not too sure. Fake new again. So Max Ricker, let's have a quick look at him. Check out the number 1. Oh, look at that. See, just in front of the rear wheel there. He's got the number 1, but he's got the little 27 inside that. I think that's Red Bull Racing Australia. Yeah, Supercars when Shane Van Gisbergen won his championship. That was the first time I'd seen it, so I'm not saying that was the first time that it ever happened. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But anyway, but Max Ricker, our reigning defending champion, he's out there. 205.970 is his best time of the session, and he is in P1. Paul Russell, as we saw before, you can see the big lookout tower there. One of the signature attractions, other than the actual circuit itself, of Cota. Located not too far outside of Austin, Texas, I believe. Or it's, inside Austin, Texas. Southern part of Texas. Big place. Texas. Everything's bigger there, apparently. Here's Paul Russell, still in P4. What about James Pierre Reid? Just the plain white Celsius Autosport entry. I'm not too sure if that is a livery gone wrong. I wonder if it is, actually. Let's see. Yeah, everyone can see it now. No, I don't think he had one on there. Can't see it. Nah. There you go. Gotta say, it kind of sucked downloading all the liveries today. It doesn't work for me the way that it used to after going to the Google Drive or whatever it is now. I like OneDrive a little bit better, but got them all anyway. That's the main thing, right? Less than 3 minutes left in this qualifying session. First one to kick off the season. I haven't even really talked about track temperature. It's 28 degrees air. It's 36 degrees track temp. So it's a little bit on the warmer side. Optimum conditions though. Herbitron in P18. So coming down to the business end here. Less than 2.5 minutes left. It's Andrew Lawrenson, Max Ricker, Vinny Canero, Russell, Hignett, Reed, Frost, Rayton, Mack and Wall. Highest of the silver drivers is Peter Wall. The top 4 are all Linus Stern in 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th. And then the highest of the AM drivers is our reigning defending AM champion, Mark Stevens, there in P14 outright. Tenzio and Hayes little bit low for their usual standards, so they might just be looking to get a sneaky time in the last less than 2 minutes left in qualifying. As Russell, he's not going to improve his time, so therefore he will not move up the grid. This man here, though, Max Ricker, he's been unseated by Andrew Lawrenson. Just under 1.5 tenths the difference between the two. He's up by about 2.5 tenths right now on this lap, so if he continues on at this pace, this is going to be fast enough for him to take pole position. I think he'd love nothing more than to start the season with the number 1 on his side panel there and the number 1 next to his name on the grid as he comes up to the final left-hander here, turn 20. And this is looking like it could be good enough for pole position. He lost a bit of time there out of the final turn, so he did whittle it down, but not quite enough. 15 hundredths of a second away from pole position. Here's Terry Rayton. Haven't seen too much of him so far in the Ford. I wonder if that's a livery gone wrong as well. I'm positive I saw Terry Rayton as well. I'll have to check that out. Anyway, he is almost 6 tenths up on his best time. That'd be good enough for possibly a second row start here as he heads for the line, and he goes into P4. Nice work there. What about his Mustang brother, Adrian Rice, and the other driver to decide to go with the Ford this season? Good enough for P9. So good job from Adrian Rice here in the opening qualifying of the season. Highest of the silver drivers, sitting P9 outright. Closest competitor is P11, Peter Wall. Latenzio, he's 1.4 seconds up on his best time, a 2:08.250. Can he improve? Currently sitting in P16. We've gone 000, so time is up. This will be his last opportunity to P8. Nando Latenzio pulls one out at the last second. Here comes Peter Wall in the Rothmans liveried Ferrari. He's not improving on his best time, so P12 might just be where he starts this one. Lawrenson's in the pits. Rick is out there right now, but he's 2 tenths down on his best time. He's made up a little bit of ground here at the late stages of the lap. Can he pick pole position to open up the season? No, he can't. He's going to start second. So Andrew Lawrenson, congratulations to him. He is our pole position sitter. Well done to him. He won't be challenged by anyone out there. Matt Frost, he's gone from the Audi to the BMW this season. Currently sitting P9 right now. He and Adrian Rice are both the cars out on circuit. Lee Perkins is out there as well, but he's done for the session. Frost doesn't improve from P9 to the 666. That's where he will start, hopefully, unless this man on screen can hear that big V8 roaring as he makes his way through the final couple of turns. He's up by 3.5 tenths, and he's called it. So, right, he was up. Anyway, this man here on screen once again, Andrew Lawrenson, first pole position of the season. Then it was Adrian Rice, highest in silver. Yeah, it doesn't work for that one, unfortunately. And then Mark Stevens in P1 for the AM. So that is our grid. What did they get to? A 2:05.795 from Lawrenson. So he was one of 2 drivers in the 2:05s. He and Max Ricker. Everyone else, closest they got was a 2:06.4. That was Vinny Quinero. So that is our grid for round number 1 of the season number 3 of 2024. We'll be back in about 2.5 minutes. I will see you back then. We're going to get this race underway. Be back soon. 2 minutes and 15 seconds now. Right, back, ready to go. Yeah. Cool. All right. So this is the grid for round number 1, and let's go for a quick walk, eh? So Lawrenson going to be leading us away. 4 in the Lamborghini. He was in the Audi last season. Doesn't matter what car this man's in. Just a jet. Max Ricker starting in P2 in the very familiar McLaren. P3 is Vinny Canero. He's starting. You can see. Look at the dirty side of the grid. Look how much dirt and rubber and garbage is on there. So definite disadvantage starting in the odd number grid slots. Terry Rayton. Race Control needs to update their controllers, or I need to download the updated one. But Paul Russell, number 6, Valvoline. You know what I mean. What a catchphrase. Like, that's just iconic with that brand now. Benjamin Hignett, didn't see too much of him in qualifying. Got the old Pit Viper McLaren, looking very nice. Kind of got like a Galaxy kind of look in there. I'm digging it. James Pierre Reed in the all plain white P7. Oh, what's happening to Nando Latenzio? What's happened, Nando? Oh dear, he's missed the start. Might have a technical issue there. Matt Frost in the 666 BMW. Last season he had like an army green kind of matte paint effect on there. A bit different this season. Is Adrian Rice starting from P9, highest of the silver class runners. Peter Wall rounding out the top 10 there. There you go. Let's have a better look at the Red Rebel Racing all red livery. James Mack. Neil Fakeney, P9 in the BMW. Oh, look at this one. I didn't even get to this in qualifying. See, I saved the best for last there. Have a look at this. Mark Hurley. That is a lovely looking livery. I think that's a Herbitron special as well. I do apologise if it isn't, but yeah, looking sensational. Another Ferrari. Mark Stevens, highest of the AM runners. Defending AM champion. Lee Perkins will be the man who will be more than likely one of his primary challenges, as he was last season. Wally Masterson, another Ferrari, and another Ferrari. Herbitron. So it's Ferrari in 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. Ferrari kind of flavour of the day right now. 1-1 last night. That's pretty good. First and third. Chris Hildebrandt, reigning silver champion. Probably not getting his season off to the start he would be hoping. Very interesting livery, this one. And just sort of might be a grower. Just feels like it's got a bit of an identity crisis. A little bit. No disrespect, just a general observation. This one's got a bit of an AlphaTauri kind of vibe about it. When it used to be AlphaTauri. Mike Lewin in P20. And looks like we've already lost one, so it looks like Nando Latenzio, whatever he had, it was terminal. So he's out. He's done. He's going to have to wait till next week to get his race started. In the meantime, Lawrenson and Ricker. This is going to be a fun one between these two fast drivers. You just get the feeling Andrew Lawrenson will just be like, mate, I only just lost the championship last year. I missed a few races. I'm going to come back. I'm just going to smash this. So I get that vibe. Anyway, we'll see if it comes to fruition. But previous couple of champions are going to be starting P1 and P2. And when we get the green light signal, we're going to go racing. Should be any second now. There it is. Oh, there we go. It's like a good start from both of them. It's going to be neck and neck. Canero got a good jump too. So did Paul Russell. Terry Rayton sneaking up there in the Ford as well. Looks like they're all managing to make it through turn one without any issues. Oh, as I say that, that's Masterson who's just gone into the wall there. As we get back to the field, it's Lawrenson leading them away as they all snake through the first turns of Sector 1. Everyone else has managed to get away. Peter Wall looks like he just had a little bit of an issue there, but he's gotten going again. Makes a little bit of contact there with Mark Curley. He's got Perkins behind him. That was Rayton, who's dropped back a long way there. So he started up the front. He's now in P11 as they head on to the back straight for the first time tonight. Looks like Hignet's made up a little bit of ground. He's found himself in P4. He's got Paul Russell for company right now as they head up the 1.3 kilometre long straight. It's Lawrenson leading the way. Ricker, Canero, Russell looking to go down the inside here. I mentioned there would be lots of overtaking through here. Almost comes to fruition on lap number 1. Hignet able to just hold his ground through there. And everyone else made it through. And it looks like Wally Masterson has gotten underway as well. So he's way back there at the rear of the field. And he's got a lot of work to do as Russell looking to make the move here on Hignet. And that's James Pierre Reid there, making up a little bit of ground as well. As the leaders heading through the final turn. And that is the gap. It's already at a second, the difference between Lawrenson and Ricker. Canero, Hignet, Russell, Reid, Mack, Frost, Rice, Fakeney. Highest of the silver class runners is Adrian Rice. Highest of the silver class runners is Lee Perkins. So it was Mark Stevens who started ahead in silver class, and there Lee Perkins makes up another move now there as well. So has he been wrongly classified? The AM driver mixing it up with the silver and the pro drivers right now. Looking very good in that Ferrari. Moves his way up into 13th position. So out in front, this is not our leader. There is our leader just up ahead there, Andrew Lawrenson. Looks like he had a little bit of a wobble there for a second. I wonder if he likes a bit of a sort of a loose rear of the car, because we saw that in the Audi all last season as well, and never brought him undone. So perhaps that's just the way he likes the car set up. We'll see. I'll see if I can ask him if he wins and gets in the chat afterwards. Good little addition last season, hearing from the drivers post-race. We're going to continue with that on this season. It's James Pierre Reid going to make a move there on Russell. Frost is doing the same, and Adrian Rice having a look as well as we go on board with the V8. Some people a little bit underwhelmed by the sound of the Ford. Yeah, I guess it could be a little bit better, right? I think they use the BMW sound from memory. I can't quite remember. You know who would know? Adrian Rice would definitely know. Yeah, it's a shame we don't have him in the chat anymore, but it's good because he's out there racing, which I'm sure he much prefers to do. Here's Hayes and Hurley, Herbertron and Hildebrandt. A little bit of action there at the rear of the field in 17th and 18th. So just swapping positions and swapping it right back again. So Hildebrandt taking back P17 from Herbertron there in the opening stages of this one. Having a look at Frost crawling all over the back of the Porsche of James Mack. We've got 3 Porsches in the top 10. Got 3 Porsches across the entire field, in fact. So all of them are in the top 10, 3rd, 5th and 7th. Vinny Canero, he was in the Porsche last season. Paul Russell, it's a return for him. And James Mack, not too sure if I've ever seen him in the Porsche. It's one of those cars, isn't it? It's a bit intimidating, I reckon. You got to kind of have a bit of experience under your belt before you have a crack at the Porsche. But all three drivers doing a good job so far. I had a long back straight again. Looks like weather's not going to be any dramas here. You know what I didn't do? I didn't read the pre-race about the pit stop setup. What have I been doing all day, really? Well, I've been working. That's one thing. Here's Matt Frost looking to make a move there. He's got Adrian Rice tucked in behind him. Monday. Yeah, Tuesday. Oh, here we go. Alright, so mandatory stop for tyres. Refueling is permitted but optional. Refueling time not fixed. Only relevant for non-tyre pit stops as refueling always fits within a tyre stop. So, mandatory stop for tyres. Refueling is permitted but is optional. There you go. When you haven't done it for a little while. What's happened to Lee Perkins? What's happened here? Where are you, Lee Perkins? Here we go. Let's see if I can pick it up. Who's that going down the inside? Oh, it's a little tap there at the end. That was... I'm not too sure who that was. It wasn't Herbachon. It wasn't Wally Masterson. Was it? No. Oh, you know who it was? It was Mitch Hayes. Alright, well, kind of, it's still within the first 10 minutes of the race. Trusted driver panel do look at all first lap incidents regardless. That may be one that is talked about in the stewards post-race. Maybe. Or there just might be a little bit about, hey, sorry about that, didn't mean it, in the chat. Here's Adrian Rice tucked under the rear wing of Matt Frost. We're going to see an overtake down the inside here. Oh, Rice able to throw the anchors out. Not quite get past. 666. Definitely got a little bit of toe in the BMW. And what this squabbling amongst themselves is doing is allowing Neil Fakeney to join the party here as well. So he's made up a couple of spots from his initial grid position. The largest riser though, highest riser, has been Mitch Hayes. He's up 6 spots from 19th into 13th. Unfortunately, our biggest faller though has been Terry Rayton, as mentioned earlier. He's down in 11th position now. He's dropped 7 spots. Not to sound condescending or anything, but just, you know, letting you know. Look at the Ford. I like it. I think it's a nice looking car. People are absolutely loving it right now in the races that it's in. The commentators love talking about it. Here's Herbertron and Lewin. So they swapped spots, I think. Did they or didn't they? Let's have a look. I wonder what the French flag on there is about for Herbertron. Oh, he's just run deep at Big Red. Turn 1. Elevation of over 30 metres. Which I think is about a 3-storey building. To put it into a bit of context there for you. Here's Mitch Hayes going around the outside of Peter Wall. And that's Rayton just up ahead. Ooh, wrong one. And they've got Hurley tucked in behind them. What about Hildebrandt? He's just put a move on, I think. On Herbertron. Oh, no, on Lewin. This is coming up, I think, turn 12, the left-hander onto the back straight. Yeah, it is. He goes deep under brakes. That Lamborghini able to pull up without any dramas. And he gets the job done. Nice work to Hildebrandt. And then Hayes and Wall, they've swapped positions as well. While we're having a look at that, let's see if we can see it. Yeah, there it is. So he's on a bit of a charge at the moment. Mitch Hayes moved up now into P12. So he's up 7 spots from where he started on the grid. So he's on a bit of a roll at the moment. Benjamin Hignett, he's in 4th position, chasing Vinny Canero. Now, I haven't mentioned the 2 guys out in front too much because it's 1.7 seconds the gap. Just trying to bring all of the action on the track. But Lawrenson and Ricker, last lap around, Lawrenson did a 2:06.045, 2:06 flat, 2:06.3 to Mac Ricker. So he's got the Lamborghini humming right now, does Andrew Lawrenson, while Benjamin Hignett is just looking for a way past the Porsche. Oh, getting a bit of a tank slapper out of there as well was Vinny Canero in that Porsche. Easy to do. There's another Porsche hunting them down as well. That's Paul Russell and the Valvoline machine. As Hignett closing up under brakes. Now it'll be flat to the floor. Go up through the gears. On this 1.3 kilometres straight. 258 kilometres an hour is his highest speed. 266 is the highest. That belongs to Adrian Rice in that Ford Mustang. Canero, 254. Pit Viper Space LXIX. Oh, it's what's L? See, LXIX. I get like, I originally go to, I feel like it's 69 in Roman numerals because, you know, he's got Pit Viper Space. Let's see what it is. LXIX. It is 69. Yes, got it. See, I get the jokes. I understand the young people. Whoa, early. Peter Wall in the pits. Has a very early stop for him. Is there any damage on there? Oh, you got some witness marks on the front. I don't know. Anyway, Mitch Hayes, a hard charger. He's got Terry Rayton, who, after falling to 11th position, hasn't really been able to recover much further than that. So perhaps carrying a little bit of damage in that Ford. What's he lapping? A 2:09.3 last lap around. Hayes did a 2:09.15. Fastest lap of the race is a 2:05.7, and the last lap by Ali. Oh, he does have damage. There you go. So looks like he's hit someone from behind, and obviously accidental or being pushed into someone. I don't know. But anyway, he's got some damage, so that gives us a clue to his pace, which is music to the ears of Mitch Hayes. You never wish your teammate ill will, but if they're wounded, we'll have a crack, right? Almost at the quarterway mark. A pretty good opening so far to kick off the season. Wally Masterson just got mixed up in turn 1. He's managed to recover to P17 so far. Looks like Mark Hurley was having a good little battle with Herbertron there. And yeah, we lost Nando Latenzio straight off the bat. So some sort of technical issue has prevented him from participating this evening. Hopefully we'll see him on the grid next week for Laguna Seca. In the meantime, we're going to watch Mitch Hayes continue to probe away at the rear of the Ford Mustang. I like the colourway as well. It's got sort of some BP racing vibes about it. Drive-through penalty, track limits, 936. That is Mike Lewin in the Ferrari. That's not unfamiliar to see that around this circuit. That we could see a few more of those before the end of the race, considering that we're only a quarter way through this one. Good to see this man here, Herbertron, having a good run. 14th so far. He's actually the AM class leader, Herbertron. So he finished third in AM class last season and is currently in 14th right now. He's given it to a silver driver as well. He's saying, Mark Hurley, mate, just I'm going to give you a bit of a hurry up here. 3 Ferraris in a row, Hayes, Hurley and Atron. What else we got? So highest of the silver runners, still Adrian Rice, having a great race so far, is Adrian in the Mustang. And then, as mentioned, highest of the AM drivers is the car on screen. This man here, Herbertron. Leader is lapping at a 2:05.982. Only car on that previous lap to be in the 2:05s. That kind of... Oh, that's Hayes. He just ran a little bit deep there. Let's see if we can see what happened there. This is at turn 12. Action zone on the track. Oh. I wonder if he almost kind of like faked himself out, got distracted by Rayton braking as well, and it was kind of one of those moments like, I can do this, and then sort of you just take evasive action. Might have been thrown off there by Terry Rayton, who has decided enough is enough. I am pitting. And here he comes into the pit, so he will no doubt, well, not no doubt, but I think he'll be looking to get that repaired, and that's going to make his life a little bit easier. It's not too far away from third race distance. And Benjamin Hignett, oh, they go side by side. Make a little bit of contact between the two. Oh, more contact again. Not afraid to get their elbows out, these two. This is good, hard racing. Porsche versus McLaren. Hignett versus Kinnearo. Turn 12, heading onto the back straight. Let's have a look at that again. Should go on board here. Contact there. And then we're going to see contact again here. And then it started to simmer down. From there, Hignett was able to get the job done. And there's been a Kinnearo in the background there. So, and we're having a look at, we come back to Mack under attack from James Frost. They're battling out for 7th and 8th. And Kinnearo and Hignett, sorry, pardon me, still going at it. And this has really opened up the door for Paul Russell. So he's looking for any crumbs to fall off the table that are going to fall his way. And he's in the box seat here. He's got the best seat in the house. Watching these two do battle. Just going to have to keep their cool here though. Still a long way to go in this race. You don't want to throw it away now. You're in a good spot, battling it out for a podium position, 3rd, 4th and 5th. And you can see there James Pierre Reid, he lapped at 2:07.322, so you'll be wondering what's been going on up here. Why these guys all of a sudden coming my way. Here's Herbertron, and he's coming into the pits. So pitting from 14th, Wally Masterson, he'll go into the lead of the AM class. As he makes his way around, you can see Herbertron there, just on the screen now, making his way to his pit stop. So 20-minute mark, 20 down, 40 to go. Lawrenson still leads this one. Last lap around, he was 1.5 tenths to the negative for Max Ricker. Ricker 206.352. Lawrenson at 206.5. And we've got a good little scrap going on here between Mac and Frost. And Rice will be enjoying this as well, because these two squabbling amongst each other just means that that's going to provide more opportunity for him to close the gap on the two of them. As Frost is getting a little bit creative in the braking zone of turn 12. Fastest speed, highest speed, 263 kilometers of the BMW. It is known for its outright speed and proving it. So far this race, just over a third race distance done. Still got 20 runners, which is great. Terry Rayton takes a position away from Herbertron, who's just coming out of the pits now. That's our race leader coming through, Andrew Lawrenson. So that means he's going to see Max Ricker on his way through as well. You can see him just on the screen there. So he'll get the blue flags wave for him, and I have no doubt he'll make his way out. Oh no, Vinny Canero, what happened? So we're going down the main straight. Oh, it tucks into the draft, pops out late. Went a little bit on the dirty side of the circuit. Oh, I wonder if that affected his ability to brake there. Oh, then he's got collected by Paul Russell. So he managed to make it work, but then the aftermath, he got caught up. And what about Russell? He doesn't have any witness marks on there at all. He's just having trouble stopping the car into turn 11 there. So that was kind of a weird one, if you like. But unfortunately for Vinny Canero, he has been the big loser out of that. Unfortunately, he's down into 9th position. He was fighting for a podium spot, and now finds himself scrapping to stay in the top 10. As Hignett now, he's all over the back of Paul Russell, looking to force his way past. And Russell defending with all his life right now and doing a good job of it. So Porsche versus McLaren, rear engine versus mid-engine. It's a mid-engine car, McLaren, I think. There's James Pierre Reid still in the background. He's doing quite well at the moment in the Honda. He's got himself a top 5 position. He started in 7th, so he's made his way up a couple of spots. As we watch from behind, Porsche. This is good stuff. So podiums last season, Russell, he had a couple. Hignett, he had a win. That was his only podium of the season, a win. So he made it a good one. But Russell, he was on the podium a couple of times last season. As Hildebrandt is in the pits as well, making his stop. Start to expect to see more cars coming in. So far we've had 7 pit stops, and they all belong to position 14 and down. This is a good little scrap going on between Russell and Hignett for the final podium positions. Gap between Ricker and Lawrenson is at 3.8 seconds. Last lap around, Lawrenson was 4/10 to the good on that one. So now the only drivers that are circulating in the 206s, everyone else 207s, they're like they're high 207s. Oh, Rayton was a low 207, so an update on him. He's down there in P17. Looks like Peter Wall managed to get past Lewin. Did Lewin have a little mistake here? I reckon he might have going into turn 1. As he run a bit deep? Oh no, he's almost lost the car. He didn't spin around, fortunately for him. So that's he's minimised the impact of that little mistake there, and he's able to keep on going. So 15th right now is Lewin. He's second in class, so he's having a good run. Here's Hignett. He's making his way into the pits. So he's one of the drivers fighting for a podium. This is going to be interesting. Will Russell respond? What's he going to do? What's James Pierre Reid going to do as well? Because he's in contention for a podium spot here as well. So having a good run in the Honda. Terry Rayton, he ran the Honda last season. This season it's James Pierre Reid. I don't know why you'd want to do that. It's an absolutely pig of a car to drive. But they're making it work. Adrian Rice is definitely making it work right now. He's currently in 7th spot, leading the silver class. Kinero in the pits as well with Hignett, the man that he tangled with earlier. Hignett making his way out now as well. He's dropped down into 12th position. Now we wait for Paul Russell. He's up there in turn number 11, making his way down the back straight. We see Perkins and Frost there just in the background. Where are they? They're down there in 19th. Frost, though, is up there in 5th spot. So that was just lapping some slower traffic. So you hear the Mustang flying past. This is the man we want to keep an eye on, though. Paul Russell. Is he going to respond? What will James Pierre Reid do here? Will they decide to pit? Are they going to go another lap or two? Wait and see. Not too far away from the halfway mark of this one, in fact. There's the big whatever it is. Big lookout, I guess. So Russell's going to go... Oh, will he go around again? Yeah, he is. He'll continue. So will Pierre Reid. And Hignett, he's come out in P12. So that's where we picked up Russell once Hignett came out of the pits. Making his way along the straight. Max Ricker is in the pits as well. So he's decided to stop before the race leader. That's this man here, Andrew Lawrenson. Last lap around at 206.617. So the Laundry House drive through track limits 111. That is Chris Hildebrandt. So the reigning silver class champion not having a great start to the season. And they're in 16th. He's the last of the silver drivers as well, and he's only just ahead of Terry Rayton and AM drivers after that. So Hildebrandt, not a great start for him, and that's a little bit of salt in the wound. Adrian Rice continues to trail back of James Mack. As mentioned, he's the highest of the silver drivers. Fakeney and Hurley are second and third in silver, and they're just behind them now as well, metaphorically speaking, not physically, because it's about 6 seconds the difference between Rice and Fakeney. Hurley 12 seconds behind him as well. So Lawrenson making his way towards the end of the lap. Let's see if he decides to stop, as we're almost at the halfway mark. It's been a fun one, hasn't it? It's yeah, it's been good. Enjoyable so far. Here we go, Lawrenson. He is responding. Got to hit his marks here. You'd expect a driver of his caliber. There is Hildebrandt serving his drive-through penalty. As Lawrenson ready to make his stop. Back in the Laundry House livery. There we go. He's stopped. Max Ricker, where is he? He's coming through about turn 13, 14, now through 15. And then, oh no, not even. He's through 14 now into 15. So Lawrenson still in the pits. There we go. There is Ricker. So Ricker just out of 18 into 19. Lawrenson is on the move. Ricker still needs to get to the final turn. I think Andrew Lawrenson is going to have no real issues here. Ricker will have a little bit more momentum built up. But Lawrenson, off he goes. And you can see there's Max Ricker making his way onto the rear. What's that? Mobile. I'm not too sure what that sponsor logo on there is. But anyway, there we go. There's the difference between first and second. You can see Ricker there in the background. Andrew Lawrenson doing a fantastic job. He's essentially our net leader right now, but the actual race leader, though, officially, is Paul Russell. So who was he battling it out with? Hignett earlier. Russell 207.725, 207.190 Hignett. Russell is going to need to pit soon, you would think. The next couple of laps, it's this one now. Here we go. Russell pits. Is Reed going to follow him? No, Reed continues on. So Reed will take the lead of the race. But the man that we want to have a look at is this man here, Benjamin Hignett. So he's making his way down the back straight. Pit stop par time, if you like, is 1 minute 11. Russell has been in there for 20 seconds now. And Hignett now needs to circulate through the twisty parts of the track. It's not really great description, is it? It's basically the third sector with turns 13 through to 19. It's triple apex right-hander, reminiscent of Turkey. Well, I did learn something about Turkey today, actually. I'll tell you in a minute. Because here's Paul Russell. And here's Hignett. This might be a little bit closer than what we saw earlier, just before, with Ricker and Lawrenson. Paul Russell. Here comes Hignett now. And Hignett's got him. Hignett's got him by a fair margin as well. So Russell just staying out a little bit longer. Hasn't quite worked out for him. So Hignett able to take that spot back from Russell. So he's there in essentially net P3 right now. James Pierre Reid, he's the leader of the race. We've broken through the halfway mark. And we'll stick with him for now. We'll see if he decides to pit. So he's one of two drivers yet to make a stop. That's he and James Mack in P2 right now in the number 623 Porsche entry. Gotta say though, it looks like Pierre Reid is handling that Honda without any dramas, and he's going to continue on. He is somewhat of a contrarian, isn't he, James Pierre Reid? He doesn't normally go along with the rest of the pack. He sort of runs his race to the beat of his own drum, and he's continuing to do that right now. Mack, though, on the other hand, he has yielded. So he's in the pits now. So he's making his stop for the race. As we get back to Paul and Peter Wall and Fakeney. Peter Wall's always got cracking liveries. And they're making their way on the back straight. Ferrari versus BMW. It's going to be a tough challenge for the Ferrari, but he's up to it. Throws out the anchors. And not quite enough. Fakeney was able to get a pretty good drive out of that corner. He runs a little bit deep now. So the Ferrari just proving to be a little bit more nimble. Oh, they make a little bit of contact. I've done that right at that particular part of the track before. I've got a penalty for that as well. Mine was a little bit more forceful, but nonetheless. And Neil Fakeney has now been able to hold on to that spot. James Mack re-entering the circuit. There we go. So he's up there in P6. There's Adrian Rice hunting him down in 8th. So Rice continues to circulate, leading the silver class right now from Fakeney and Waller, hunting him down from behind. That's Vinny Canero mixed up with these guys. Mitch Hayes we're having a look at there on the screen. Canero, we've already seen him in some side-by-side action through here. Got the elbows out with he and Hignett. I don't think he'll really be wanting contact this time around, and he doesn't get it, thankfully, for these two cars involved. As they continue on. So, we've got James Pierre-Reid in the lead. Lawrenson in second spot, 42 seconds away. The par pit stop time is 70 seconds. That means Pierre-Reid, he could still be in for a what's happened, Adrian Rice? Hopefully nothing. I don't think so. No. Okay, good. So Pierre-Reid, if he was to pit this lap, he's probably going to come out in about P5, P6. So he's lapping a 207.8. Last lap around, Lawrenson did a 206.320. So, yeah, and Reid 207.8. Not necessarily direct comparisons, but gives you an idea of the pace that's out there right now. It's Peter Wall. Well, that's Canero going down the inside. Gets the job done by the looks of it. Yep, he does. And there goes the Ferrari in the rear view. So nice work there from Vinny Canero. Gets the job done. Moves now into P10. So here's Lawrenson and Ricker. Max Ricco's closed the gap 1.1 second. So last lap around, Lawrenson at 206.320. Max Ricker at 205.845. So nice work there from our reigning defending champion with the number 1. 27 on the inside there. On the side of the car. Pierre-Reid is in the pits. So with 21 and a half minutes remaining, he's decided, yep, I'm coming in. And this is a good little scrap going on between what is essentially P1 and P2 will be official very, very shortly. But Cota delivering the goods so far. And a good strong opening round of the season, 2/3 race distance almost completed, and we'll have new leaders of the race. Andrew Lawrenson, who started in P1, remains there. Pierre-Reid, as mentioned. How much longer does he have in the pits? Another 15 seconds. So I think Hignett will be coming through now. Yeah, there he is. So takes a spot away. Here's Russell. And Pierre-Reid almost at the exit. And he's not going to quite make it. So he is going to come out in P5, which still is quite good at this stage of the race. With 20 minutes remaining, fresh set of tyres, and you're fueled up, ready to go till the end. Well, you've got enough fuel to go to the end. P5, Pierre-Reid, good strong start to the season for him. Here's Vinny Canero Going down the inside there of Neil Fakeney through turn number 1 through Big Red. And once again, this is a familiar spot he's found himself in tonight. This is about the 3rd time we've seen him going side by side through Sector 1. And this time he comes off better for it. So Canero working his way back up through the field now in P9. And Neil Fakeney can't rest too long here because he's got Wall and Hayes tucked in behind him. They're all having a good old fashioned little battle there. So, this race is nicely poised. We'll just skip across to the 2 front runners. So P1, P2, it was a second the gap, but it's crept out to 1.9, almost 2 seconds right now. Lawrenson had a cracking lap that last trip around, 205.800. Max Ricker, no slouch himself, for 206.4. So, despite the only 2 drivers sub 207s, Max Ricker was still about 6/10 short of Lawrenson, who's now just continuing to extend that gap almost at 2.5 seconds right now with 18 minutes remaining. So, have a look at this action. Was that 3 wide going into turn 1? And looks like Peter Wall managing to get the job done there on Mitch Hayes. So he's now in P11. Got Neil Fakeney there just up ahead. See if he can snatch himself a top 10 finish. The leader of the silver class though continues to be Adrian Rice. So the Ford is definitely to his liking right now. It's quite nice. In 8th outright. And then Wally Masterson is the leader of the AM class. He was an AM championship contender, top 3 finisher last season. And looking to try and do the same. Go up a couple of spots though. He's made a good start. Unlike our reigning AM champion, who's not had a great start to the season. Down there in P20. Currently last right now, and I think that's Rice behind him. And it's also a similar bad story for our reigning silver class champion down there in P18. So a couple of defending champions there, not having a great round 1 so far. That's the 111 of Chris Hildebrand. Perhaps still just coming to grips with the Lamborghini coming from the Lexus last season. Still becoming a little bit more accustomed with the unique driving style required for the Lamborghini. In saying that though, Andrew Lawrenson seems to have acclimatised himself quite nicely from the Audi last season. He's currently occupying P1, but that's not really an apples for apples comparison. Is probably being a little bit harsh, if anything, so apologies to Chris Hildebrand. I'm sure we'll see improvement out of him as the season progresses. So as the race progresses towards the end now, we're about to enter into the final 15 minutes. And these are the 2 closest cars out on circuit, Mitch Hayes and Neil Fakeney, with Peter Ward just tucked in behind them as well. So last lap around, Fakeney today 208.832. Hayes was a 209.147 and a 210.350, which kind of explains how Hayes was able to get past Wall on that previous lap. Head up the straight here. Second of the Americas. First introduced in 2012. I believe that. I think I've said this every time, but I remember when this used to be the new track on the block. Down there in Austin, Texas, but yeah, already been around for over 10 years. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's a fun circuit. Once you get into the rhythm, it can be quite enjoyable around here, obviously depending if you've got the right setup as well. But yeah, these guys look like they're enjoying it. Good attrition rate as well. We've only lost one, and that was Nando Latenzo right at the beginning. I think that was some sort of technical issue. Other than that, we've got a full 20-car field, which is awesome to see. Nice and healthy. Usually do get pretty good numbers for round one. It's after round one that some people decide to drop off. I think it's just natural attrition for any league. Oh, that's Fakeney running a little bit wide. It's going to open up the door here for Hayes. So he just ran a little bit deep there at turn one. Saw a couple of other cars having some troubles through turn one as well. Shifting to second gear there for Hayes as we go on board with him. Car up ahead, I think that is Stevens. Yeah, just up ahead of them. So that's a lap car. Stevens is currently occupying P20, so not the start that he would have envisioned. But the good thing, the only way is up. Again. Good driving as well, just getting out of the way of the faster guys coming through. Good awareness from Stevens to just pop out of the way. He lets Peter Wall drop through as well, who's only a second off these two. Lawrenson continues to lead this one, and he has extended the gap. So it's hovering at about 4 seconds right now. 2:06.4 the last lap. Absolutely flying. 2:07 flat was Max Ricker. Russell did a 2:06.7. Yeah, that was the closest car on that trip around, 4/10. So the Lamborghini is Lawrenson. He's got that humming right now. More than likely he'll be joining us for a post-race interview, so we'll ask him about Arthur as well. His dad. 936. Who is that? That's Mike Lewin. Has he already had a penalty? I'll get back to that battle. This is Hayes and Fakeney going down the inside of turn one, going up the hill, approaching the left-hander. Big red as it's been coined. And Hayes gets the job done. So moves up into P10. Let's go on board with him and see how this looked from inside the cockpit. Cota on the back as well. Cars all over the place with the sponsors. Oh, hang on, me back. There we go. Yeah, he's got Red Bull. He's got Shell. He's got Pennzoil. And he's got Coca-Cola. Assortment of no, Red Bull's definitely not owned by Coca-Cola. Conflicting sponsors all over the place. But hey, each to their own. He can make his car's livery however the hell he wants to. I like Neil Fakeney. Neil Fakeney always has a little bit of chrome in his livery. That's kind of like his sort of signature. As you can see, once again, that BMW looking splendid, glistening in the sun. As we're into the final 10 minutes of this one, round number 1 of the season. 9 rounds this season, and we're back to having little breaks in there as well. We're going back to the Nordschleifer. 100 minutes this time around Nords. That'll be fun. And what happened here? Perkins and Hildebrandt. Oh, Hildebrandt. And that just sums up his race, unfortunately for him. P18. And what sort of damage does he have on that? Oh, that's not great. He'll be able to just nurse that home towards the end. Yeah, definitely not the championship defense he would have imagined start of the race, or even today, or no, it doesn't carry that much weight. These guys aren't that serious about it. You know, I'm just trying to add some context and a bit of colour. Here's Vinny Canero. So where did he start, Vinny? He started in P3. So he had that incident earlier on with Hignett, and then Russell. Russell was the innocent party in all of it. And yeah, that sort of derailed Vinny's race, unfortunately for him. And ever since, it's been a bit of a recovery drive. He's done a good job of it though. P9 so far. He's all over the back of our silver class leader, Adrian Rice. Looking forward to hopefully getting an interview with him post-race. We can get his thoughts, feelings and opinions and otherwise on all things motorsport, but it'd be interesting to hear what his thoughts are on driving that Ford Mustang around here as Vinny Canero gets the job done there. So nice work, Vinny. He now moves up into P8. So not a bad recovery from him. I'm sure he would have liked a little bit more and been challenging for a podium, but unfortunately not to be today. The man who is in a podium right now is Benjamin Hignett. So he's currently occupying P3. A couple of McLarens in the top 3, second and third. The Lamborghini of Andrew Lawrenson. Paul Russell a little bit further behind Hignett right now, 3.8 seconds. He lapped almost a couple of tenths faster on that last lap, but it's going to have to get a lot quicker than that to make a dent to get up to the rear of the Lamborghini, let alone pass it with just over 7 minutes left. Quite a tall task for the Valvoline number 6 Porsche entry. And yeah, once again, as we've become quite accustomed to, this one livery last season was the Lamborghini, the Camel livery. Before that, I remember he did the Jack Daniels Porsche. That's right, Kmart as well. And Monster Energy. So he's driven Porsche a few times. Actually, I know he didn't enjoy the Lamborghini last season at all. So he's come back to familiar territory and seems to be enjoying the Porsche a lot, because last season his best finishing position was 4th. I think he DNF'd in the first round as well last season. So next 6 minutes and 20 seconds, if he can hold on, he's going to have a cracking start to season number 3 for 2024, sorry. It's been 2024 for 6 months. I should be used to it by now. So here's Rice. Just watching the Fords. I'm not a Ford guy, but they just look nice, don't they? Oh, you want to? I was going to say, I learned something about Turkey today. They have lots of all their animals, not animals, but like the streets are like they have a lot of stray cats and dogs, and they like they look after them with like they de-sex them, they neuter them, they microchip them all. It's quite impressive, actually. So all the stray animals get looked after in Turkey. I think it's part of their Islamic faith. That those animals are held in very high regard. I won't wander too much further into that because I don't know the specific details. But there you go. What did I even? I can't remember. Oh yeah, the triple apex right-hander. They used to be in the Istanbul circuit in Turkey. When they raced there in the F1s a few years ago, it was horrible conditions. They couldn't get any tyre temperature driving on ice. 169. Mark Stevens. He's had an off. What's happened here? That's Mark Hurley just ahead of him. Oh, car just not wanting to comply there. That's a decent old whack into the barrier. He's going to have to limp that home at this stage. With only 4 minutes remaining. Not worth the pit stop. I'm saying that though he is in P20, so didn't really lose any ground, but nonetheless, yeah, not a great night for defending champions if your name's not Andrew Lawrenson. He's had a great result. As mentioned, I'm going to try and keep a track of all the AM classes and silver class stuff this season because just want to makes it a bit easier for everyone involved. As we're just seeing out the time now, all the on-track action sort of died off a little bit. This man has a 7.8 second lead. Who is our highest riser? It's Mitch Hayes. So Mitch Hayes is the highest riser, up 9 spots. I'm not going to track that stat, no way. 9 spots, and unfortunately, our biggest faller is Terry Rayton. He is down 10 spots. Mitch Hayes up 9. I'm going to get back into the habit of writing post-race notes. Because, to remember that, alright, so, and who had the fastest top speed? I think it was this man here, Adrian Rice, 266 clicks. Ask me about in the post race, which is only 2 minutes and 8 seconds away. So Max Ricker, solid start to the season. As mentioned, he had 4 second places last season in his championship winning season. He's looking like he's going to start that way tonight. Hignett is in 3rd position right now. He didn't start Benjamin Hignett. He started in 6th, so he's had a good race. Paul Russell, he started in 5th. So he's gone north the way that you want to head. This man here has been very solid. James Pierre-Reid started in 7th position. Finds himself in 5th right now. Frosty started 8th. So currently occupying 6th. James Mack, good solid start to the season. Can he hang on to 7th? He's got Vinny Canero closing in on him, who started in P3. So the gap between those two is only at 1.1 seconds. What lap time does Mack do? A 2:08.287. This is a 2:07.327. I think it's going to have to be 2 laps, this lap included, of defending if he wants to get home in P7, because Lawrenson is heading towards the end of the lap. We'll get the last lap counter, but yeah, Mac will need to go one more. So it's never an enjoyable spot to find yourself in. So try and keep a close eye on that. Adrian Rice is our silver class leader, as I've mentioned a few times already. Mitch Hayes there. Where did he start? He started in 10th, so up 9 spots. I did talk about that earlier. Neil Fakeney, he started in 12th. He's in 11th right now. Wall, he had a top 10 starting spot. He's in 12th right now. Mark Hurley has gone neither up nor down. He's remained at 13. Terry Rayton, as mentioned, biggest faller of the field, down 10 spots. Wally Masterson, he's moved up one. He's moved up one. Herbertron, he's moved up one. Lee Perkins, he's dropped down 2. Hildebrandt, he has remained in P18, so as with Mark Hurley. And Adrian Rice. Oh, what happened to Adrian Rice? Oh, has he made a late race mistake? So he's in 9th right now. I reckon he's just run deep somewhere. He's still got Hayes between him and Fakeney. So still on track here to take out the class victory in silver. Lewin moved up 1, and Mark Stevens, he dropped 6 spots into P20. So not a great race, as mentioned, for our reigning class champions. Bar this man here, Andrew Lawrenson. The 444 back in the Laundry House livery. He had the in-game pink coloured livery last season. Yeah, he's back in a very, very familiar position right now in P number 1, as he's making his way down into turn 12 for the final time this evening. Keep an eye on him. Can Mac keep Kinero behind him? That's what it looks like right now, as Andrew Lawrenson making his way. Oh, Kinero all over Mac. I'll get to Lawrenson crossing the line. Is this the move? Not quite. Here comes Andrew Lawrenson. Congratulations. Round number 1 of the season belongs to this man in the 444 Laundry House Lamborghini. He takes victory. Congratulations, Andrew Lawrenson. Max Ricker, he's going to come home to a very well-earned P2. Well done. He adds to his 4 second places he had last season. It looks like Kinero is about to get it done. Is he or isn't he? It's a fight to the death between James Mack and Kinero. Kinero just getting the slight advantage. Runs a little bit deep there. Mack is able to fight back. Hignett is crossing the line shortly to take P3. Drive-through penalty for car number 3936. That is Mike Lewin. So it was Hignett, Russell, Reed, Frost, and is it going to be Mack or Kinero who's going to occupy P7? It's a battle to the very last corner. Mack has the lead right now over Kinero, coming through the final turn on the circuit, and Mack looks like he might be able to just hold on here. It's going to be an absolute drag race to the end of the lap, and well done, James Mack just gets it on the line by mere millimetres. Adrian Rice, he comes home. He takes out the silver class victory. Congratulations, a well-earned class victory there to Adrian Rice. Then it's Mitch Hayes, Neil Fakeney, second in silver. Third in silver is Peter Wall, and 12th outright. Mark Hurley finishes where he started in 13th positions. Terry Rayton down 10 spots from where he started in 14th. Wally Masterson, he is going to be the AM class winner. So well done to him, Wally Masterson. I'll write that down in my book. Adrian Rice is silver, and A. Lawrenson is in P number 1. Well done, Wally Masterson. He's going to come home 15th outright, but he's the highest of the AM drivers. Congratulations to the number 37. Herbertron, the final car on the lead lap. He is going to come home and take 16th. But congratulations, Andrew Lawrenson. He is our race victor. So if we could get Andrew Lawrenson... Oh, I've got to open up the thing, don't I? I'll see if I can get some post-race interviews going on here. Where are we? Alright, just give me a second. Where are we? Sorry. Gotta open it up. just put this on here. Hang on a second. Oh, it's green room, isn't it? All right. We'll see if we can get some post-race interviews. Where are we?
Hi guys.
Oh, who we got here? This is everyone's in here. Awesome. We'll start with Andrew Lawrenson. Can you hear me?
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Doesn't matter what you drive, does it? You're just really good.
No. I just have very good luck in picking good cars. That thing was decent. I didn't mind it. I'm told it will bite me at some track eventually, but it felt pretty balanced there.
What was the main differences between that and the Audi that you found so far?
Oh, the badge.
Yeah.
That's about it. It seems to have the same behaviour. The good thing about the Lambo is the engine braking maps that can put it on it, so it can be a bit creative in how you use that together with the chassis and the brake balance and how you actually drive it into a corner. I think you get a bit more rotation without making mechanical compromises otherwise, to get a bit nerdy.
Okay, no, I'm digging it. I'm sure everyone will be enjoying the insight. And walk us through. So it was a pole position time. I think you went. I can't remember if you went faster than your. Yeah, did you get into the 205s? I think in qualifying. I think it was practice.
I think just 205.7 or something like
Yeah.
that. It was only slightly quicker than the McLaren. That was a squeaky bum moment.
Yes, it was. I think about 1500ths of a second. Was the
enough?
Yeah, it was enough. And your race with was basically you and Max for the whole race. Walk us through it. It looked, from this perspective, it looked pretty straightforward. Was it as straightforward as it looked?
I think it was more time management than anything else to get boring again. But
Okay.
the first stint, I think I gave the tyres a bit of strife early doors, and the consequences for that later on were fairly plain to see with the lap times.
Yeah.
So I brought it into the box and I thought, look, when I come out, tyres are a bit cold, we'll bring them on nice and gradual, and then I'll get dividends out of that at the end of it. Silvio Supercars commentary vernacular. But then I saw Max getting bigger in the mirror and I thought, right, best pick up the pace and ignore the tyres. And I think he's got burnt out early in the second stint based on what he was saying briefly before. So it was probably all time management more than anything else to get everyone to the end, because I think the McLaren and the Lambo, they were quite evenly matched lap for lap.
Yeah, because I did notice when you came out of the pits, it was about a second the difference between the two, and yeah, you've explained that beautifully, where you just thought, oh, hang on, I better put the foot down and get out of here. So, yeah, nice. Well, congratulations, mate. You're back with the Laundry House livery and the Lamborghini, and it's kicked off perfectly for you.
Yeah, can't complain. Great race from everybody else as well. Very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, one last one. Arthur. Tell us about Arthur. He's your dad, is that right? He's in the chat sometimes. He always comments. He always gives you a little congratulations in the chat afterwards. That's your dad?
He is. He's the reason I drive anything. Sort of earliest memories is sitting in the back of the old 626 up at Service Paradise Raceway before it turned into a housing development, as most raceways do in Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got me into karts super early up the big kart track up at Noosa. I remember as soon as I could reach the pedals were in the dual kart, and then into the single one from there, and then we mucked around with sort of hill climb and historic sprints and in and out. Bought his old car when I was old enough to get it and went running in that with him a couple of times. So good to put on a show and have him there and in the audience. I think I've said it to you before, but he's often asked me to pass on his thanks for the hard work you do. It's very enjoyable to watch, and I think it makes a big difference with good commentary on there.
Yeah, well, he's put it in the chat again as well. Well done, Andrew. Off to a good start. So shout out to Arthur Lawrenson, and thank you, Andrew Lawrenson, for joining us, and congratulations on your win tonight.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, man. See you next time.
See you, mate.
All right, who we got? Is it Adrian or Wally? Who wants to go first? Whoever jumps in.
I'll have a chat. I can get to bed earlier.
I know the feeling. That's Wally Masterson.
Yes, that's right.
How are you? Nice to virtually meet you.
Yeah. First time in the green room for me.
Yes. Well, welcome. For you tonight, first in AM. I think was it 14th. I think overall for you tonight.
Also, I think it was 15th.
Yeah, a very solid outing this evening, and you went top 3 in the AM Championship last season. Was that a bit of a spur on for the efforts tonight?
No, I did all right last season. I missed a couple of rounds, unfortunately, on that one. But yeah, tonight was just a pretty consistent kind of race. I didn't really have any dramas. I did get I got knocked off the track at turn 1 and lost, so I was behind the pack, behind the field for quite a way. But I just sort of put my head down and knocked out some good consistent laps without any real mishaps.
Yeah, that's right. It was turn 1, wasn't turn 1 lap 1. It was the you got caught up in it there. Did you make contact with someone, or was it by you? I picked it up I picked up the end of it on the stream.
Yeah, I think I got hit from the side. I don't know. I haven't seen the replay yet, but I think I got some kind of contact and it sent me off into the barrier. But no real harm done to the car. So I just kind of got back on track and got on with it.
Yeah, and a great recovery drive considering that you won the AM class and you finished where you finished. That was phenomenal effort. Yeah,
I think I was helped along the way by a few other people getting drive-throughs and damage and whatnot.
Yeah,
I was nursing three warnings, so I was driving pretty gingerly by the end trying not to get the 4th.
Yeah, well, I think there was only 2 drivers tonight that got that picked up drive-throughs for track limits tonight. So everyone was pretty well behaved, yourself included. So it wasn't a huge issue tonight, thankfully.
Yeah, luckily it's a pretty evil track for track cuts.
Nice. And tell us about yourself, Wally. Give us a 30-second elevator pitch. Who are you? What don't we know about you that you want to let us know about you? Just because we've got you on the stream for the first time, so give us your 30-second elevator pitch. Who's Wally Masterson?
I've been sim racing for ages and ages. I'm 60 years old, so I've been racing for 20 years or something. But the thing is that I'm finding as I get older, I'm getting slower. Reaction times, losing it and so on a bit. So I'm kind of dropping off the back a bit, but I'm still enjoying it. Still have a lot of fun with it.
Mate, I think it's one of those things you're never too old to do it, right?
Yeah, well, that's right. You can keep going, but you just got to sort of accept that you do lose a bit of reaction time and a bit of control, finer control of everything. So as long as it's still fun, it's all good.
Yeah, love it. Well, nice to virtually meet you. Congratulations on your AM class victory tonight, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yep, thanks, Nick.
Cheers, thanks, Wally. All right, and then we've left the best till last. Adrian Rice, are you there?
Yeah, mate. How you going?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, yeah. Can't complain at this particular point.
Mate, congratulations. That's a cracking result. So for the first one out the box tonight.
Yeah, well, I had to prove I could drive eventually. I've done some pretty rubbish races the last 6 months or so nice to have a decent one. Though at the end there, I was a bit like Wally. I was on 3 track cuts, so I was driving so gingerly the last 4 or 5 laps.
Did you have a little moment there right at the end? I think you dropped a couple of spots? Did I pick that up properly, or was that just me making things up in my mind?
No, I like I said, I was nursing the 3 track cuts, and Vinny was catching me really quickly, and I thought, well, if I start racing him, I'm more prone to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And then so I just let him go through. And
so you did, yeah, okay.
So I dropped a couple of seconds, but that was about it.
Love it. And the Ford, give us the debrief. What are your thoughts, feelings, otherwise on it?
It's a quick car, but I mean, there's obviously no BAP on it yet. That'll come as more people get into it. Though it seems a bit of a polarizing car. People either like it or don't. It's personally for me, it reminds me of the old M6.
Yep.
Which I used to love in this game before it sort of got passed by everything else. So it's a bit like that, but with a sort of obviously just a bit faster. I think I like being at the level I'm at, I'm probably not getting as much out of it as other people might, but it's definitely a competitive car. There's no doubt about that.
Love it. Well, mate, I to give you the commentator's curse, but I was cheering you on silently in my mind.
I scared myself a couple of times because I hate those. I mean, the track limits are seem to be so strict through the curves bit, the Maggot and Beckett's reproduction.
Yeah.
And a couple of times there, I had to hit the brakes pretty hard because I was just so paranoid about getting that last track cut and being so close to the end. I didn't want to do it there because I mucked my qualifying. I was up 3/10 on my last lap in qualifying, and I cut the last corner.
Oh, that's why. Because I had you on the screen, and you were up by like 3/10, and then you just bailed on it. But I didn't pick up the track cut. Though.
Yeah, no, the track cuts are just. They just seem to be very, very no sort of leeway on this particular track. I don't think they're positionally any worse than out of the track, but it just seems you can't ever, like some of the other tracks, if you sort of do a track cut, you back out of it for a little bit, lose a couple of tenths, it'll sort of give you a warning rather than a track cut. This one, it's just like, nah, you've gone over the line. Here's a track cut. You don't sort of get any leeway in it. So I think that's more what causes the problem. Valencia's got a corner like that too. The first big stop after the start, that corner there seems to be very similar, but that's what causes the problem. Because I mean, if you again watch real GT3 cars, they use all the track they can use, and then anything they think they can get away with. But so you kind of got to do the same with these, and if you get it wrong, it just goes, yep, no, you've done bad.
Well, mate, you did good tonight. You did fantastic. So a big congrats to you, mate. Great way to start off the season, and on to the next one. But massive congratulations, mate. Awesome work.
Thanks, mate. That's your next one, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully speak to you next week. All right, thanks, mate.
Thank you.
See ya. All right, everyone. So that is the proceedings for this evening. So big congrats to Andrew Lawrenson, Adrian Rice, and Molly Masterson. Thanks to those guys for joining us in the post-race as well. Thank you to everyone in the audience as well. Heather Russell was in there as well, just commenting on Paul's livery. Nando Latenzo just let us know that the pedals decided it was a good time for a firmware update. Yeah, that's really bad luck. I'm not too sure that was Foul Minion. That should buff out nicely. And Arthur Lawrenson in the chat there as well. But as mentioned, we're on to the next one. So next week, we're going to be doing it from Laguna Seca, which should be quite interesting. The corkscrew, one of the signature turns of there. So that is it for now. We will be back, next week. So enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name's Nick. I will see you next week for round number 2 at Laguna Seca. Until then, take